Man League Universal with the Commissioner.
Time to musk up.
Man League Universal.
Woo! It's gonna be awesome and some other musical stuff.
Stop what you're doing and listen. It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole.
And now, the Commissioner.
Man League Universal Podcast, Derek Francis, recently relieved of the Yoder as of December 2012. Derek, thanks for joining us.
Been miserable ever since.
You've been heartbroken?
Yeah, I just crushed, don't know what to do with my life.
Tell me what's different about your life now that you don't have a 4-foot-tall plastic trophy in your possession?
Well, I just can't look over, and because that was one of my redeeming things about my life whenever I get down into dumps. I just
that you were a fantasy football champion? Twice. Back to back, okay.
And then just whenever I'm feeling a little dismay, just like, what am I going to do with my life? I just look at that, and it's a backbone I had to fall back on.
Okay. First things first, let's talk about your upcoming transition in life. You're going to be, I would presume you're going to be graduating. I believe you're going to be graduating. Is that right?
That is the plan.
You meet the criteria?
Hopefully no surprise failures here in the last 3 weeks.
So you'll be moving away from South Bend into the Chicago area. So what kind of transition do you think that's going to be?
Certainly different. Rushi, obviously, you know what that entails. Not like South Bend, Indiana is a sprawling metropolis either. So I'll probably hop on a bus first day of work and just get lost and make great first impression. That's
okay.
That's hoping I'm not still hoping I think we're getting to this later, but hoping that I'm able to wake up that morning after the Bengals play in Chicago.
Right. That's going to be contingent on the performance that the Bengals put forth. But more importantly, and I want you to look past the locations themselves, and I'm concerned more with lifestyle here. Now, let's be honest. You're going to have a definite drop in yoga pants quota.
Whew.
Now, let's be honest. Now, I was thinking about this earlier. There's probably not a whole lot of yoga pants on Notre Dame's campus anyway. Is that right?
There is actually a fair amount.
Now that concerns me. I would imagine there'd be more of a mom butt campus in the upper.
The high riding jeans.
The upper Indiana, South Bend, Notre Dame area.
No, I mean it doesn't get much better if you're in the yoga pants category than a college campus, and
sure,
I think that's pretty standard. Yoga pants and Uggs.
Right.
Get them Tom Brady lookalikes. Like you asked, looking past that, I guess. I mean, the lack of yoga pants in Chicago will be disconcerting, but then we'll just have to deal with some more mature ladies.
Oh, okay.
Who will just admire the young professional.
Sure. Per capita, there's probably
devilishly good looking.
Per capita, it's probably not going to be great, but the overall quantity,
the sheer volume,
is what you're looking for. That's desirable.
Might have to go see what DePaul has to offer.
Sure. Oh yeah. I mean, you've been there before. Unfortunately, you were hit with an egg at 3 a.m, but it's the name of the game. So you win some, you lose some.
I mean, when you intrude on rival territory, it's a risk you take.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you dance with like a 45-year-old woman that night?
Oh, Lord, I forgot about that still now.
Well, let's look beyond the fact that she was.
Too.
Let's look beyond the fact that she was 40, but I think her name was like Steve or Shane. Steve.
It was a male's name. It was a male's
It was a
name.
masculine name.
No, it was George. A girl named George, because that was my fantasy team.
Right.
Name.
You won the championship with that team name, if I'm not mistaken.
A girl named George.
A girl named George. I'd like to see that name reappear next season. That'd be nice.
I could do that.
Okay.
I won't approach Robert sniffing the turd levels, but
no, my fantasy team names are always the best.
You had Victoria's Secret before anybody.
Right.
Max, on the other hand, I can't believe the Yoder rewarded him. He's the name picker.
He is terrible.
Under Dwayne Bowe.
He is terrible.
$5 foot long.
Some real bad ones from Max, but far be it from us to question the reigning champion. So, okay, well, moving past your uneventful personal life, let's look at tomorrow evening. We've got the NFL draft coming up. And the Bengals have been in the news a little bit lately. They signed the maniac himself, James Harrison, to a deal worth a number that I don't have, but actually, from what I have just recently heard, was actually less than what the Steelers were offering.
Really?
Yes.
That is surprising, especially coming out of Mike, or actually not surprising at all, coming out of Mike Brown.
Coming from Mike Brown's pocketbook, which is extraordinarily tight. Snare drum tight. Hot dog skin tight. I mean, that thing, we're still practicing under Interstate 75. We will not get an outdoor practice facility, an indoor practice facility in our lifetime.
Oh.
In my lifetime and your lifetime, we will not see an indoor practice facility for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Katie Blackburn, although she's his daughter, I think she has him whipped more than any male-female combination in the rest of the world. I think she might be calling the shots, I've been reading.
Really?
But not my place, I guess.
Interesting. That's extremely interesting. Well, when Mike Brown dies at the age of 162, I mean, that guy is going to live, I don't know how or why, but he's going to live to an extraordinary age. We can rest assured that not a lot of things are going to change.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty clear that franchise has kept it in the family. They have no intention of hiring a GM for two reasons. One, it would include another salary in the organization, and the second reason being I don't think they know exactly what a GM is. I don't think they understand the position itself. I think that's where the organization is going. But in some cases, and I'll see if you agree with me on this, it plays to our advantage that Mike Brown is a real tightwad with the dollars and cents. Case in point being Andre Smith, and how he has fingers crossed. He has yet to sign with the Bengals. He has yet to sign the existing offer that I believe is on the table. So him and his agent trying to pull some power play that really is beyond me at this point, because I feel like the closer we get to the draft, the more inopportune his contract negotiation is really going to become. So fingers crossed that he does not return to the Bengals unless it is for extremely cheap dollars. But I don't want to see him in a Bengals uniform. Do you disagree or agree?
I've been meaning to bring this up to you in weeks past, based on your Twitter account. Has been
the league's the league's Twitter account, not just it's not mine.
The Man League University.
I speak on behalf of 11 other individuals.
Speaking of, I notice you don't follow any of the.
That's league policy. That's league policy, man. That's politics.
Wow. Okay. However,
if I follow one of you, I got to follow all of you, right?
I'll tell you one thing. You don't need pictures of Carter Cloud clogging up your
Oh, man. Talk about a land speed record for most Instagram photos of a infant.
A human child.
Of any time in human history, now or forever, no one will top that quota. I'm talking, I don't know, 15 to 20 pictures a day on Instagram.
It's bizarre.
It plays to his advantage that he is a handsome young chap, unlike his father. Praise be to God that he got his mother's looks, but we need to move past this. No one has any idea what we're talking about. But
on to Andre Smith.
Smith, right?
Double F, and some IFF. I think he's a good right tackle or right guard, whatever the hell.
Right tackle.
Yeah.
If he was a right guard, I would not have a whole lot of issue with bringing him back. But we are I believe operating under the assumption that he is going to continue at right tackle.
Who's going to play if he doesn't? Is my question.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But I do not want Andre Smith getting... I don't know. I don't know what the dollars are of the deal. I don't know what the length of the deal is, and I don't know what the total value of the deal is. All I know is that I do not want to give Andre Smith more than $10 million a year when I think it is extremely obvious that he overachieved to a certain extent in a contract year. And by the way, I don't understand the belief that he is apparently one of the best offensive linemen on the right side in the league. Apparently,
people say that?
I've heard several people say that. Several reputable sources have claimed that he is one of the better right tackles in the league. These people obviously did not watch the playoff game when Andre Smith was just demolished by, albeit a pretty extraordinary group of linebackers, J.J. Watt, Connor Barwin, etc. But I don't want him back in a Bengals uniform. The guy just carried a loaded gun onto an airplane less than 2 months ago, which, that's...
Sometimes you need those type of people on your team.
It's interesting because the rules are confusing when it comes to airports. Is it really that cut and dry that I can't bring a loaded weapon onto an airplane?
He's just an enforcer.
It boggles the mind. It boggles the mind. What compels someone to, best case scenario, forget, I guess, that they have a loaded gun on their person and
Seems like
carry it onto an aircraft? Who knows?
When you put it that way.
I mean, let's just look at the overall thinking of some recent Alabama players. There is, present tense, a Alabama prospect who I believe is a projected first-round pick, who tweeted yesterday or Monday, who tweeted that he basically received money in college. That's all it said. That's the only thing the tweet said. I received money in college.
I saw that.
Period.
Just trying to make it out here.
Yeah, just trying to get mine. The overall thinking of some of the Alabama players, current and past, leaves me right back to the wizard man himself, Nick Saban.
Oh boy, the devil man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess in your opinion, based on the performance that Notre Dame put forth less than 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago.
I've forgotten all about that by now.
Okay, but what are you expecting for the draft? Who do you like to end up as a part of the scratch heads?
Not Manti Te'o.
Not Manti Te'o, really?
Nope. Don't want him.
From the mouth of one of his biggest fans.
He was at my house the other day, a couple weeks ago.
Who was?
Manti. We had a big party.
Okay, your Notre Dame house?
Yeah, my complex.
Manti was at the party.
Oh, yeah.
Did he bring his girlfriend?
Yep, had his arm around her the whole time.
Oh, boy.
They're showing some public displays of affection.
PDAs.
Oh, yeah.
So he actually had a female with him.
No. I was just joking.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't know if he had a girlfriend, if he was off the market again already.
Well, he does. I mean, we can get into that whole thing.
Let's leave that as it is.
Yeah.
I think all the different angles have been exhausted as far as that story is concerned.
But as far as who do I want, I haven't really looked at the mock draft too well. But
as difficult as they are to find on the internet these days.
I know. I want a linebacker or the offensive line. I mean, Kevin Zeitler, look at him. He had a great year last year, and nobody's ever heard of him.
Right.
And whatever, he had a fantastic year. So, bash as we may on Mike Brown, the moves he's been pulling lately have been turning out.
Right.
And I hate to say it, but as far as who the Bengals should take, I think a linebacker or an offensive lineman.
Safety? Anywhere in the discussion?
I don't know. I have been a bad Bengals fan this offseason.
I really could care less about this draft because I haven't followed it at all. I guess there just aren't that many high-profile players.
Yeah, the lack of a clear-cut quarterback is kind of I mean, once you get the first 5 picks projected to be linemen, it's not exactly like it's must-watch television.
You know what would qualify as an instant success for me as a Bengals fan would be to see the Cleveland Browns take Matt Barkley at any point in the draft. 2nd round, 1st round, 6th round. If the Browns drafted Matt Barkley,
I consider it a success for the Bengals.
It would be just a smash. That alone would really make the offseason for me. Other than that, there's no players that I have. And you know what? The funny thing is, this exact same conversation is going on within Paul Brown Stadium right now. Yep.
Although I will say, I've seen a couple drafts that have the Bengals taking wide receivers in the 1st round. I'm not so sure how I feel about that.
I don't like that. I think we're
the supporting staff is passable, I think.
I think Sanu could make the leap. He was getting better with every game last year until he got hurt. I think Andrew Hawkins is respectable. I think he's a good slot guy. Jermaine Gresham is kind of I don't really know how to describe Gresham. He makes me upset, but only on occasion, because more often than not he has been really good. Especially last year, I thought he was really good. Something about him, big
drops.
A lot of big drops, fumbles too much, and not a terrific blocker. But he's apparently, I think he's a Pro Bowler. So be that as it may, like you said earlier, haven't really been following the offseason a whole lot, other than us signing football's resident serial killer, James Harrison. So that pretty much secures that NFL personnel will be watching every Bengals snap in the upcoming season.
You know, if Mike Zimmer thinks he can play on our defense, I trust Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer, I don't understand how he's still with us, but talk about somebody that has overachieved with the personnel that we have. That guy definitely deserves a head coaching opportunity. But every day that passes that he's with the Bengals is a good one, as far as I'm concerned. So he can stick around as long as he likes.
And the opposite with Andre Smith.
The opposite with Andre Smith. Get to packing. Move on, Andre. Move on. So yeah, Zimmer, I trust in his judgment as far as our draft is concerned. If he's calling the shots, I like it.
Yeah.
And if he sucks by week 3, then fire him. So.
Quick leash.
What was our next topic? Summer 2013.
Lala.
Myself and Derek here have locked down a couple events. We've got Lollapalooza being the main talking point here. And I believe we've outlined 4 bands on the Friday evening schedule.
Yes, I think.
Is that correct? I'm going to say Imagine Dragons, Band of Horses, Queens of the Stone Age, and The Killers. That's a formidable lineup of music.
Yeah,
I like it.
Probably catch a few other bands in there a little bit early in the afternoon.
Are you planning on now you're making a trip this summer. What's that entail?
What are you talking about?
Aren't you making some kind of road trip after graduation here?
Any managers out there, I'm looking for partners. So
you might want to rephrase that.
Yeah,
there's a few people that would probably take that a little too literally.
Yep. Not limited to Cal McAdowney.
Okay.
Anyways, I want to take a road trip for about first 2 weeks in June and just drive out west with no real plan. So
would Vegas be in the plan?
It would. My parents are actually going to be out there during the middle of that. So plan to stop out there while they're there.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested in joining me,
let's get some of the landmarks here. Where are you going?
I want to hit. I mean, no real to see where the road takes me, but I want to hit Yellowstone, Mount Rushmore, and the Grand Canyon. Those are my guidelines, I guess.
So, graduation from college, you decided to knock out a lot of those national parks.
Yeah,
and,
I like that.
A few American landmarks.
Yeah, I couldn't do that European trip with you over the winter.
Right.
So,
Okay.
This is my version of, I have nothing to do this summer besides go to concerts.
Nice.
Yeah. Not that that's a bad thing.
Let's finish up the podcast the last 10 to 15 minutes here with discussion on the best show on television. Still, after 7 seasons. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. We'll be returning for Season 8 in September.
Season 9.
Season 9?
Yes, sir.
I stand
I'm 100%
corrected.
sure of that fact.
My apologies. Season 9. I believe they're signed on right now for 10 seasons. Can you confirm that?
I think so. It's this one and then
Right,
one more.
right. And who knows beyond that. But with that in mind, I wanted to bring up something that I had thought about just before we came on. The final episode of It's Always Sunny. Have I already confided in you my thoughts on what the final episode of It's Always Sunny is going to be?
Some other musical stuff?
No.
No. I
No.
haven't heard this.
Okay, I have a theory. It's going the final, and I'm almost 100% sure this is going to be the final episode. Now, anyone that has never watched the show is going to have no idea what we're talking about. But if you have watched it, I think you'll enjoy it.
Somebody's going to die.
No one's going to die. In
Okay,
fact,
go
quite
ahead.
the opposite. The final episode is basically just going to be Charlie bangs the waitress. That's going to be it. And probably nothing beyond that. But that title alone would be worthy of the final episode, I feel like. Do you agree?
They've not been afraid to throw that storyline out in the title before. Mac bangs Dennis's mom.
Sure. It's actually appeared in several.
But that would prove very interesting at the end. Because Charlie Kelly has developed like a cult following now, and I love that fact because he deserves it.
Absolutely, yeah. And he's done well in most of the movies he's appeared in post It's Always Sunny fame.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that he has remained true to that character in spite of the fact that he's been doing some movies during the filming of a couple seasons here, most recently. But something that I have not particularly been a huge fan of is a lot of backstories are starting to reappear, especially in the most recent season, Season 8. Some to outstanding effect. I thought the season opener, the the final episode of Pop, I thought that was probably
The final solution.
I would say that was probably one of the top 10 to 15 episodes all time. I think it's in the discussion.
I haven't rewatched the most recent season since it originally aired, so
Right.
That's something I need to do.
But they reused the gas crisis episode, basically, in almost every aspect. I thought that was okay, but part of the enjoyment of the show is basically the randomness of it. And I feel like they lost that a tad bit in Season 8, and I hope they don't fall back on a lot of old storylines, i.e. Dennis and Dee's mother, grandfather, etc., the gas crisis episode. Plenty of cricket is always a good thing, so I won't. If he reappears, I'm sure it'll be to extraordinary results, so hopefully he comes back. But the lawyer...
The lawyer is far and away my favorite recurring character.
Okay. Above cricket.
Yes.
I gotta say cricket takes the top spot for me.
When the lawyer just abuses Charlie, especially the scene where Charlie goes in and challenges him to a duel. Oh, yes, I was looking for something to do at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
The layout of that scene is pretty awesome. Charlie walking in, lawyer attire. Anytime Charlie's in lawyer attire is awesome.
With the shirt sleeves.
With the short shirt, the short sleeve shirt, the short sleeve dress shirt, the thick short tie. You can tell that the poorly combed hair, although a nice effort, doesn't quite have the effect of the lawyer. But part of the reason it's so funny, I do like when he says he basically challenges him to the duel, and the lawyer accepts immediately. To Charlie's dismay. But any other recurring characters are somewhat forgettable.
Yeah, I could do with less of the McBoyles.
Really?
Yeah, they don't do it for me anymore.
Okay. How about the Gail the Snail? Thoughts? Because she will be in season 9. She is coming back.
Has that been confirmed?
That's confirmed.
Wow. You gotta salt the snail.
That actress, I think, is it's kind of funny that she plays that role because she was in 24 in like one of the more serious roles. I think she's pretty good. I could do without her though. She's forgettable. Hopefully Frank continues in his
squalor.
Yeah, in his squalor and his basic, I guess you could say, dehumanization. The dehumanization of Frank Reynolds. That's always enjoyable to watch. I think if you'll notice, as the seasons have progressed, his hair has become a little longer, a little more unkempt, and his glasses have gotten thicker. Both in the frame department and the lens department. It's almost to the point where his lenses are like magnifying glasses. Whereas early on, season 2, a very respectable pair of glasses with relatively well-kept hair. So I think to see his appearance through the seasons has always been funny, especially when he breaks out skinny jeans. That's also a highlight of the entire series, I feel like.
Can't beat that scene.
No. Now give me your breakdown. Give me 3 episodes you want to see. Give me a couple episode ideas.
Storylines?
Yeah, just anything.
Wow.
There's got to be enough meat and potatoes as far as current events are concerned to bang out 4 or 5 Always Sunny episodes.
I could do with, I told you this the other day, the gang solves the North Korea situation.
That.
And I could deal with another episode regarding whatever, global not terrorism, I guess, but
North Korea being entered into
issues.
The discussion. Yeah.
And then something like, I feel like if the gang were to get environmentally concerned about like global warming or melting of ice caps or whatever, I feel like that would provide a very solid background for the classic Mac and Charlie take the dumb person route, and then Dennis and Dee try to get on their, we went to Penn, and somehow have a clash towards the end.
Okay.
Go ahead. I don't know for the listeners if I've ever told you this, or how many watch Always Sunny, but I've said this from the beginning, is that Dennis Reynolds was cast based on the Commish, and I would not object to seeing another episode where he just womanizes, just Dennis Reynolds womanizer.
The Dennis system is one of my favorite episodes.
Pizza's good.
It steps over. It's so well over the line that it goes from being comedic to being like, I don't know, like psychopath /
exactly.
Sociopath type behavior, which is in my mind is extremely funny, and in some people's minds is probably offensive, but I love when they really dig deep into the mind of a Dennis Reynolds to just see how sick he actually is. And yes. Anytime that happens on the show, I think is really comedic gold. So as far as any other episode ideas, I think a good episode would be if the gang tried to start serving food at Patty's Pub. I think that's a route that has been unexplored thus far in the first 8 seasons I think it'd be funny if they tried to open like a type of restaurant/bar to disastrous effects, obviously. For me, the most underrated episode in the entire series is the gang runs for office.
That one is phenomenal.
That episode.
The monologue that Dennis gives, that Charlie wrote.
Right.
It's top,
First of all,
top I've seen.
I love how Dennis continually is referred to as having a Kennedy jaw. So the gang wants to become involved in politics. The first thing that came to mind of all 5 characters, well, Dennis has a Kennedy jaw also. Dennis is the politician. And then prior to that monologue of him giving Charlie's speech, that is very poorly written, to say the least. But I love how he's like caking himself in foundation. That is clearly like too dark of skin tone, which is a mistake that 71% of politicians make. The garbage. That's also the episode with the garbage pail kids.
The garbage. Oh, yes.
The garbage pail kids, like
yes.
Charlie's garbage pail kids.
Because they trade those for the campaign manager position.
Right.
So I just thought of another. I mean, this is a couple years ago now, but so with the gang and with the show, they've always pushed the limits or whatever, and
Clearly.
I mean,
yes,
whatever. One of my favorite episodes is the gang gets racist, and I mean, whatever.
The first episode, coincidentally,
Yeah.
Episode, yeah.
But so if they wanted to do, they've done Phillies episode, they've done a Philadelphia Flyers based episode, and whatever, they practiced to try out for the Eagles. But if they wanted to take on Michael Vick and that whole
Yeah, it's kind of the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
But I mean, they would clearly.
We've never seen them involved with animals.
You know, and what it would require for me to really sell me would be a Mike Vick guest appearance on the show, which I would imagine is probably not going to happen. But if there's a way that Mike Vick could solidify himself as a fan favorite in all of Philadelphia, it would probably be to guest star on that show. I mean, Chase Utley did it. Ryan Howard did it. So, I mean, Mike Vick, clearly the next in line. Do you agree, disagree?
I mean, yeah, I was reading something earlier. I mean, whatever about Manti Te'o. If he maybe the best PR move for him would just to put out some self-depreciating joke. And maybe if Michael Vick did the same thing, although I guess it's pretty much over for him by now.
Mike Vick's fate in the public arena has pretty much been put to rest.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah. Anytime you start murdering dogs for money, it pretty much makes up a lot of people's minds. Manti Te'o, on the other hand,
fake girlfriend.
Sure, just a fake girlfriend. I mean, hey, I've done it, you've done it. I don't know how many people believed my Jessica Alba story in high school.
No harm, no foul.
Not saying it wasn't true, but just leave it as it is.
Fifth.
Right. Yeah. So that's coming in September. Watch out for that. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah. I'm assuming it might be early October, late September, early October time frame. But okay. Any other topics? Any other Always Sunny tidbits you want to get in?
I don't think so. I've been watching those all year. I have them on my computer, and they're just always good.
Okay.
If you don't watch, you need to watch.
Any message for Max and the Yoder while we're at it?
Send her my regards. By the way, I just got onto our Yahoo Fantasy website to see who drafted Michael Vick last year.
Yeah, that was me.
None other than the Commish.
I really went out on a limb on a lot of players, and it did not work out for pretty much any of them.
At least you didn't get last.
I did not get last. No, I returned to the playoffs, but I took a lot of bad players. I had a really bad draft last year. Although I will say that me basically hoodwinking Cody into taking Deshaun Jackson instead of Eric Decker may have been my finest moment of all 5 seasons that we have done. 6,
No,
5.
you cannot give yourself too much credit for hoodwinking Cody. Anytime you say, I hoodwink Cody, I mean, my expectations just go down because it's not uncommon.
Okay.
But, agreed. I mean, I do distinctly remember you talking him out of it during draft day.
Yeah, and it was, and all he really would have had to have done is just looked at my roster because I had Jeremy Maclin, the number 1/2 wide receiver for the Eagles. Cody basically turns to me and asks, would I take Deshaun Jackson or Eric Decker? And I said, well, I'm taking whichever one you don't draft. So pretty much showed him my hand at that point, but me being the, savvy fantasy football juggernaut, I was able to persuade him to take Deshaun Jackson, and to my credit, I got Eric Decker. So unfortunately, I had no involvement with his fiance, who I might add is not ugly. If you get the chance to research that.
Well, I'd like to also tell Max to treat that. Yeah, I can tolerate that now. I'm going to talk like this. I mean, I couldn't. Well, treat that piece of plastic well. That's all she is at this point.
That's all she is. That's all she is. All she ever was to you.
Yep. I mean,
until next season.
Tough breakup, I'm sure.
I'm sure that's that's pretty one-sided in my opinion.
Oh well. I mean, it is what it is.
All right.
My name is still the one on that trophy twice in a row, and yours is not. And anybody else listening, it's not your name either. So.
Okay. All right, D. Thanks for joining us. We will.
My pleasure. We'll
keep you updated on the Yoder's whereabouts, or at least I would hope that Max would, but that remains to be seen. So until next time.
Can I announce that I hope to be writing a weekly column or no?
You can announce that as long. Or I didn't know if you would be going under an alias.
I'm not scared.
Okay.
Of what
we are looking for material for the manleagueuniversal.com on the interweb. We're looking for material. Seems to be we have a lack of personnel, and we're looking for high quality material for the website. Pretty flexible in the high quality aspect of it. So it can be words in a bunch together, left to right, top to bottom, and if they're able to make halfway broken sentences and make any kind of sense, then we will probably post it.
Slap it on up there.
Yeah. To no one's delight, to the 6 people that log on to the site annually, I'm sure they'll be delighted when you begin to contribute. So.
All right. Well, I look forward to it. Hopefully.
Yeah. Until that time, thanks for joining us.
All right.
See you, D.
Later.
They can talk and you're really enlightened talk, and I like that about you.
Man League Universal.